Thank you, everyone, to be still here with us. It's not easy to be the last one, but I'm very glad to be with you here today. My name is Vanessa Perez, and I work for the passenger department at the UIC. You will see in the next in this session, the first part was about mobility as a service and specifically to digital platform. In this second part of the event, we will share in a broader scope about human mobility and customer and commuter and regional train services from a different perspectives, like multimodality, digitalization, inclusiveness, and also and of course from the customer experience point of view. You will see that we have speakers from different parts of the globe, so from Japan to Canada, passing from Belgium and Greece. So I'm very glad to be with you today during this session. I would like to share a little presentation about what are we doing at the UAC regarding commuter and regional trains. But I don't know if you want to show the pool first, Luca. Or Valeria.
Yes. Just a moment. Here we are.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So just to start, we would like to ask the audience this question. Are commuter and regional train services adapted enough to customers' needs, to current customers' needs? Yes, they are pretty well adapted. They are subject to PSO, so contract, and it is difficult to be flexible and adapt them, or they could be more customer-oriented. Okay, so that's the open question for you all. We will see the answer at the end of this session. Okay, so now we like to share my screen, if possible. I think that Luca is going to put the link to this question in the chat. Can you give me the right to share my screen, please? Okay. So let's check. Can you see the screen? Can you see the presentation?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. So it was already said by Lucy at the beginning of the day, but I think it's important for, maybe there are still people here that are not familiar with or very familiar with the UIC. We are the International Association of Railways. It's a worldwide organization, and here you can see that is the Association of Railways. So there are different departments. We have a rail system, passengers, freight, fundamental values. The sustainable unit is inside fundamental values. So Lucy and Mario, they are working on that with the foundation, and I work for the passenger department, and we are dealing with stations, commercial services, high speed, commuter and regional trains. Here you can see what are our main sectors. So high speed, of course, passenger service group, station managers, tourist opportunities for railways, SHIP+RAIL, and commuter and regional train services, which is the one I will go into tell you a little bit about. So as you may know, according to Foster Rail Iraq, 20% of railway passengers in Europe are commuter and regional train passengers. So the scope is huge. It's a very important part of the business, and they have different elements in common, like regular train services, integrated tariffs, a lot of stops, possibilities of intermodality, as we have seen today. And we have common problems, and we work to find common solutions. So the main objectives of commuter and regional trains is to exchange best practices, and again look for solutions on the on issues related to customer expectations, cross-border services, and nowadays more and more we work and we will work on mobility as a service, which has been part of today's season. First season, and after COVID-19, during COVID, we have been changing a lot of information, and we are sure that we will have to tackle new problems in the next future. But the problems that or the situation that has been already in place is that we have to work with different elements like mobility, capacity, multimodality, intermodality, sustainability, and territorial management. So those are the services that are more in touch with our clients. They use the trains in a lot of places to go to work, not now, but in a normal situation. And depending on the image that we give to them in these services, they will have a very good or bad approach and image of the train. So it's very important, and it's very, very linked, as you know, with sustainable development. This is during the last years, talking again about our activity. We have been working in a handbook to have an overview of all the issues regarding this kind of services, commuter and regional trains, and this is going to stay tuned because it's going to be published and open for everyone in the next weeks at the UIC website. We have been done different trainings in Warsaw, in Poland, in Barcelona, in Spain, and also in Asia. This year was not possible to organize a training, physical one, as we are used to. So we are organizing this webinar with my colleagues from the Sustainable Unit today. So what's next? Our main, again, one of the main things in the future will be how to deal with crisis management challenges and how to build back confidence to our customers. We will help us with the trainings and the future challenges. We have been talking about this during the whole day, is these new ways of commuting, the new behavior, the new needs of our clients. We have been talking a lot about this. So this is the last information I would like to share with you, just to introduce the panel. Okay, so now I will like, I don't know if Yasunari is with us online. If not, maybe I can give the floor to Catherine, because I saw that you are already there. Can you? Okay, perfect. So Catherine, she's, thank you very much. Good morning. I think you are in Canada. So you are innovation project you are a senior advisor in universal accessibility, which is a huge thing for us Europeans. To talk about universal accessibility is something like it's for the future, but you are dealing very well with that. And you are part of the PATRAS group, which is the USC, which is the group of experts in accessibility. And I think that you will give us a very interesting approach from this inclusive perspective of customer needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. Can you show my presentation?
Yeah, I think they
Yes.
will.
Yes.
Okay.
One minute.
So I'm just gonna say next when I will want you to go to the next slide, please. Okay, thank you. So my name is Catherine Langlais. I'm a senior advisor at VIARAIL Canada. Today I'm going to talk about a proof of concept that we've made in collaboration with UIC, also the Canadian Council of the Blind, and the National Institute for the Blind. Yes, you can stay on that slide. So the purpose of this project is to find a way to help blind and partially sighted people to navigate into a station. So we performed that experience at Ottawa Station, which is one of our main stations. Next, please. So our goal was to test the blend of two technologies. First, an indoor GPS using beacons and a mobile phone, and second, a sonar wristband. With the indoor GPS, we installed about 300 beacons across the station to create a digital layout of the station. We then created waypoints within the station, for instance, the ticket office, the washroom, and so on. Using the mobile's compass and accelerator, the app on the mobile phone triangulates position and provides directional information to the blind and partially sighted. The sonar wristband has an emitting device that sends a beam of sonar within 2 to 4 meters in the direction. The wearer can adjust the sensitivity of the band by sliding a finger across the surface of the band. The band provides haptic feedback to the user. Ultimately, we set out to explore the combination of these technologies, and you'll see that then distill our knowledge to contribute to an international rail standard for accessibility in response to the UIC challenge. We filmed the experience, but unfortunately, for technological reasons, we're not able to show you the video today, but we're going to send you a link. I strongly suggest you to go and see this video because it's really relevant and it really shows how the experience went. So we're gonna go to the result of this experiment. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, so the participants were from 3 different groups. So one group were white cane user. The second group was white cane user with reduced mobility. And the third group was blind or partially sighted people that were using a guide dog. So when looking at the navigation success of our participants, we saw 3 scenarios on the data. In one group, all participants successfully navigated from curb to platform. Sorry, it's a tongue twister. This is from the entering of the station to the platform to board the train. They did that under 3 minutes. This is on par with a sighted passenger. In the second group, all participants successfully navigated from curb to platform in roughly 5 to 7 minutes. This is on par with sighted passengers with reduced mobility, for example, like elderly passengers or parents with young children. However, in the last group, it took much longer, or in one case, it didn't work at all. We did a deeper look to see what was going on. Next slide, please. So if we break down the result, we noticed an interesting observation. The white cane user had the best navigational result. The cane user with reduced mobility followed. They also had a good result. So as you can see on the picture, the white cane user were the ones that were able to find their destination within 3 minutes. The white cane user with reduced mobility, they were able to find their way within approximately 5 to 7 minutes. But The user with guide dogs struggled the most with the indoor GPS solution. Candid interviews and observation allowed us to understand several factors. First, the guide dog user already have a valuable source of information, and we are working with their dog. Introducing another source of data in this relationship created a conflict. When should I trust the dog? When should I trust the phone? So the result was to switch back and forth between the two sources of information, and it resulted in frustration for both the user and the dog, and led to a lot of retracing the same areas of the station in wide circles. The second factor is that walking with a dog changes the physical posture of the individual, and this creates challenges for how they hold their device. The indoor GPS app relies on the compass in the phone, and some positions are more advantageous for the compass than others. As phone shifts, it can be delayed or less accurate in the information it provides. This then exacerbates the first challenge by complicating the speed and accuracy of the data to compare to what the dog is suggesting. So mainly, the dog is himself kind of a GPS. So if the participant was following the instruction given by the indoor GPS, but the dog was seeing an obstacle, like someone with a luggage or anything else, the dog would slightly deviate, and then the indoor GPS would recalculate. And so the dog user were asking the dog, "No, bad dog, you're not going in the right way," because the dog was seeing and feeling things that the indoor GPS was not able to see and feel. And that became kind of a conflict between the two. Next slide, please. So that was for the indoor GPS. However, we saw across the board of success for all users with the sonar wristband. The sonar wristband worked for all users, the one using only a white cane and reduced mobility, and the guide dog user. For our guide dog user, there was no conflict with the dog because the wristband simply provides information about obstacles. This data complements the directional suggesting coming from the dog. In fact, all users from the sonar wristband really find it really helpful in a variety of situations, including things like following in the lineup of passengers. Next slide, please. So we came from concept to proof. We've proven the concept, and from this proof, there are 6 levels of learning. First, agile human-centered design approach allowed us to create trust. We didn't assume or suppose anything, involving them from the beginning. We imposed nothing. We genuinely wanted to learn. We created a context of trust to uncover the need. Second, the agile approach allowed us to zero in on the core need, how to create clarity, choice, and safety. The technology came afterwards. We blended 2 technologies that, as far as we can tell, have never been blended together before. And for most users, it worked. 70% of the participants were able to choose and arrive successfully at destination, and all of them avoid collision with walls, barrier, luggage, and so on. Also, it was easy for the participant to pick up. None of them had used a wristband before or an indoor GPS, and in less than 5 minutes of explanation and a little bit of try, they were ready to do the challenge of autonomous navigation. But while the concept is proven, a fully robust solution needs to take some realities into account. First, the solution did not work well for guide dog users. Guide dog users already have a source of data about their world, from their guide dog. And so the participant was often forced to choose between the technology or the dog for their information. Flipping back and forth between the two created confusions for the user and for the dog. A truly universal solution needs to dive deeper into how to leverage the guide dog. 5. While the app itself, while it works, it can be enhanced to be more powerful, more accurate, and perfect the learning curve. For the most part, simple features and some user interface changes will bring this app from good to really great. Finally, while the core technology works, it currently requires 2 devices. One of them consumes a hand, so might not be practical for everyone. To truly work for all blind and partially sighted users who carry luggage, the ultimate solution would be a hand-free solution. For the first time, two technologies have been used where it never have been used before. Next slide, please. So now you probably are wondering after that, what's the next step? So we were supposed to take this to phase 2 this summer, and the phase 2 was to implement beacons in all stations between Ottawa and Montreal, which is about 6 stations approximately. And we were exploring the opportunity to even have beacons on board. So at the station and on board, people would have a way of navigate autonomously. But because of the pandemic, we had to postpone the phase 2. So stay tuned, because as soon as we perform phase 2, we're gonna give you an update on this. We are still trying to see how the app can be improved. We are maybe looking to another app that is more powerful, more accurate, and so on. But if things goes well, we're going to be able to implement the phase 2 next summer, and so I'll be able to get back to you on this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Catherine. I think it's when we talk about customer experience, it's very important not to forget the most vulnerable ones of our customers. And I think you are doing a very good job on that. It's not just about assistance, but it's about how to give them the freedom to move on their own in our trains and stations. So we will be very much. We will pay a lot of attention on your future developments. Thank you very much. So now I will give the floor to Yasunari, maybe. Mr. Yasunari Nakashima. I cannot. Okay. Can you please put the button of a microphone, because I cannot hear you.
Now we should hear you. Yeah, it doesn't.
Yasunari, we cannot hear you. Is it green, the button?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so may I present you? Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for the Vanessa. And
okay, I would like just to present you very briefly. I know that a lot of people know you already, because you are in a lot of different meetings. So Mr. Nakashima is the director of the Paris office of GR East, Japan Railways, and he sorry, he has been very, very active, and I'd like to thank you. During this COVID situation with the task force, we have learned a lot from you, from Japan experience. And I will give you the floor because I know that you have a lot of important things to share with us. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you for introducing me and giving an opportunity to explain our GRE's activities and the vision or something. So today, I will talk about the current situation of COVID-19 and the challenge to new normal. So please move to the next slide. This slide shows our situation during corona pandemic. In this half year, GREs paid a lot of effort, but the result was so mess. And little by little, it's getting better, but cases is increasing now in Japan. Now we are on the third wave. Yeah, please move to the next. We made 3 scenarios: worst scenario, the best scenario, and the middle scenario. And from these scenarios, and we analyzed that, and we forecast our income on this fiscal year like this. And we will lose the 4.4 billion euro as a deficit. So it's so big damage. And it is, we cannot expect any financial support from Japanese government at all. So please move to the next. And this graph is result and the forecast of ridership until 2021. And the bold line is result. So as a commuter, a little bit positive, but the future is not good. So the dot line is the forecast on the ridership. So we are eager to get back 80% passengers until next March. And on high-speed rail, we would like to achieve the 55% recovery. So next slide, please. Before corona pandemic, we described future risk and measures. In about 10 years later, 2035. So, and we made a middle and long-term strategy, move up 2027. Now you can see our vision from official movie from this URL. Please watch that after this meetings. And we think COVID-19 suddenly bring 10 years future in front of a GREs now. We don't need to change existing approach, we think, but we need to add some new approaches for new normal. Please move to the next. This is one of idea for new normal. This is a REC model. In a nutshell, it's a leveling of demand and supply, like this here. We are challenged to make this REC model, and we should take into account some kind of wave, daily wave, like commuting, and the difference of weekday and weekend demand, and monthly basis demand, and the difference of season and year's demand, and big event, and so on. Please move to the next slide. And GRE is challenged to make this REC model by 6 approaches, like this slide. The 4th approach is mass. The mass is one of big pillar. We think mass has a great potential for our future. The purpose of mass is so wide. So there are so many masses now and future, we think, and such as mass for big cities, and MAS for region, and for small town, and the tourism. So many. And the railway has the power to connect these lots of MAS. And if we can connect a lot of MAS, we can achieve very big global MAS. And it will give a customer great benefit, and it will promise sustainable growth of railway, we think, and we believe. And JR East established MAS and the Suica headquarters in Japan. And they have created a lot of MAS, and we are implementing them now and try to connect them. Move to the next slide, please. For achieving our vision, the JR East developed a lot of system and service for making a REC model. I cannot explain all today, but I will show some example like this. This system is used in Tokyo Metropolitan Area, OCC, for supporting decision-making of operating staff from 2 years ago. Triangle means delay, the circle means congestion level, the color expresses each level. The OCC staff can understand current traffic situation easily, and the institutive visual help OCC staff make quick and optimal decisions. Move to the next slide, please. We are using data from train operation system and the GIS for customer support, and the JR East has provided this application from 2011. The customer get many information at anywhere and anytime, such as traffic guide and operation status is the same information on station display and onboard display, and the real-time timetable, train situation, and the location of train, and latest information on the station. And when customers use the train, they can know the coming train and car are clouded or not clouded in advance. During Corona pandemic, JR East added some information for making REC model. Next slide, please. The beginning of Corona pandemic, JR East opened new concept station in Yamanote Line in Tokyo Metropolitan Area. JR East is planning to make future model of smart station. By using this station, we have implemented and tested many kinds of robot, and we opened AI shop, no staff, with a lot of sensors. And we have proposed a new lifestyle as a co-working place. And JR East is going to add lots of new service based on this station. That's why JR East named this station Takanawa Gate Station. It will be a great gateway to connect something with something, we believe. Next slide, please. We think purpose of MAS is seamless and stressless travel. And we have to keep high level service and improve service higher. But we think we have to create and propose new adding value to mobility by MAS. So that's it. Thank you very much for kind attention.
Thank you very much, Yasunari. It's to listen to you. It's also like open a window to the future. We are in some topics. You are far away from what we are in Europe, but you have your own problems. I mean, the station I have the honor to be in Tokyo once, and the stations and the crowded station in Japan are a challenge for everyone, and especially today to provide these stressless journeys. And as you have said. Okay, maybe we will talk a little bit more about this after. I would like to give the floor to Christophe. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Vanessa. I'm just waiting for the possibility. Okay, show my screen. That's it.
Okay, so Christophe is the Innovation Project Manager at the SNCB in Belgium.
Yeah.
He works on projects related to several topics such as data sharing, customer information, and counting passengers. I will really like to thank you for being with us today, because I invite you with a short notice. I knew the project and I knew it was very interesting, but yeah, thank you and your company to answer possibly in the very short time. Thank you, Christophe, and I give you the floor.
Thank you, Vanessa. It's a pleasure to be there. Can you confirm me what you see on your screen, actually? If you can see my presentation in presentation mode or not?
Yes, it's good. It's perfect.
Great.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so hello, everyone. I'm Christophe van der Helst. I'm project manager for the Innovation Lab at SNCB. SNCB is the railway operator in Belgium, and I'm working there for a bit more than 1 year. Today, I'm going to talk about one of my projects. It's the MoveSafe project, or the MoveSafe app. And in summary, it's a customer information project related to the COVID situation, let's say. Okay, so here you see some picture of one of our main stations, the central stations in Brussels. That was the situation in March. And as you can see, it's totally empty. And what we thought at this moment was, okay, when the lockdown finishes, we didn't know when it would finish, but we knew it would finish. How are we going to get our customers back in our trains and in our stations? That was the idea. So what we did actually is a customer survey regarding this. And we asked our customer, okay, what are you waiting for? What are you expecting from us? And actually, they told us, or what came out from the survey was that social distancing was their main problem. That was a bit what they were expecting to come back in our trains. So that was a big challenge, definitely, but also a nice opportunity for the innovation team to work on this. And actually, what we did is first many brainstormings. Internally within SNCB with all of our colleagues in the different directions, but also with external partners to talk about all the possibilities. How can we solve this customer problem? How can we give them the information, or how can we make sure that they feel confident when they come back on our trains? So one part of one possibility was actually to use the existing customer countings or passenger countings in our trains. That was a data set that was more or less available, but there were challenges related to this. First, that was almost exclusively used for internal use. So only to define the rolling stock and the transport plan. So not for doing customer information, for example. So it was really internal data set, which was not, let's say, ready to be used for customer information. And then another problem was that actually all the data was available only after the trains had finished their trips. So it means actually in the evening, you have an idea of how many customers were in the train, but you don't know actually when the train is running, how many customers there are. So what we thought is actually we really need real-time data also. So we had part of the solution, let's say, but it was only a partial solution. What we thought is, okay, we have an idea for definitely for an innovation project here, but maybe it's a two-side project, because on one side we need to create something that allow train managers to send information in real time. So that was part of the idea we had, that actually the countings that were being produced actually were good, but as they were not available in real time, actually maybe we could do something that allow train managers to give us the real-time information. So that could be one side of the project. And then the other side of the project was, okay, we want to create one information, but actually we have a lot of data, but we don't know how to produce one simple information for the customers, because we have a lot of historical data, some years of countings. We will have some real-time information, but actually maybe there are also other kind of data sets that maybe can be interesting to be used. And how we could mix this all together was maybe, and potentially with artificial intelligence, to create one simple message for customers. So that's a bit the architecture that we thought about. So on one side, here on the left side, you see the historical data, or the real time, and the external data. So from these three sources, we try to, first of all, deliver some useful information for customers, but also for our colleagues. For example, for people that work in stations or at the security, to have an idea, okay, are we expecting a lot of customers tomorrow or not? And if yes, maybe on which trains actually are we expecting a lot of people? Yeah, that was a bit, well, there was a bit the different challenges of the project. It's really how to create one simple message for the customers. And you will see how we tried to solve this. We had to deliver really fast, actually, because we at this moment, we were already at the beginning of June, and we were asked to deliver this before September. So it was really like even in less than 3 months, we had to deliver. And we had to try not to disturb the ongoing projects regarding the app and the customer info in general, because people were already working, they were not available, and they did not have maybe the time or other resources for us. So that was a bit the different challenges. So what we did first is, of course, try to talk to our customers to make sure that what we could deliver was in line with what they were expecting. So it's really about, okay, how can I present you an information, for example, about either social distancing or maybe about occupancy in the train in general. So we tried many options with customers, really about what icons do you want to see, what image do you want to see, what are the different categories that you want to have, and between the categories, what are the thresholds to pass from one to the other. So that was really what we were asking our customers. And actually, we received a lot of information. It's always useful to go to your customers, because often they come with stuff that you don't expect. And that's more or less the different categories and the result, let's say the summarized information that they wanted to receive. So it's really information, for example, when they take one train they want to know, for example, things at a station where I'm looking for a seat. What is more or less the situation that I will find? Will I have a lot of seats available or not? Will I have a limited number of seats, and maybe already I will feel less comfortable there? Or maybe even for other trains, this does not happen that often, but it happens. It's really like you cannot find any seats, or even you cannot stand. So that was what they were wanting, expecting us to deliver. And that's what we tried to deliver. So with the different elements that I explained, so really based on a lot of historical data, but also real-time information, we give them one clear and simple occupancy code where they can have an ID. It's a prediction, it's a forecast. It's really about, okay, what I'm going to find tomorrow in this train, or what I'm going to find today, for example, at 7 when I come back home in the train. Voila, so there, I think we really, and we managed to deliver this in September. So this is really like a new app where you have the occupancy information. I think we really showed our customers that we were working on the important things for them. I think it's really important to take what customers expect into account when you do your projects. And here it was really, okay, we have this situation, we should work on this, and actually we did it. And we also showed them that we can deliver fast. And it's also interesting, I think, for colleagues in the company to think, wow, in 4 months, for example, you come from nothing to something. So that was definitely a good project in this sense. So we had the feedback from the customers. We have, let's say, more than 100,000 downloads or different users. Of course, it's still a work in progress. To be totally transparent, the information that we give is sometimes not correct because it's a prediction, it's a forecast. Sometimes, and even in these difficult times when you don't know what is going to happen next week or in 2 weeks, sometimes, yeah, we cannot deliver the exact precise information. And then the result is 2 million requests from customers, and from our train manager colleagues, 800,000 occupancy reports that they shared in real time with our customers. Voila, that's it. Thank you for listening. And voila, if you have a question, I'm available.
Thank you very much, Christophe. I think that this is a very good example of rail resilience, as we say at the UIC. So in a very, very difficult situation, you have organized all this system, and I have heard a lot of times in different groups during this month that the customers are very happy with the development and with these efforts from the railway. So communication and this kind of things that maybe are not perfect, but at least help the people to feel less stress and to be more secure, or to feel more secure in the trains. It's very important. So thank you. And now, last but not least, I will like to give the floor to Theodoros Tolias. He's the director of the passenger department at the Trainose, so in Greece. And as I've already said with Yasunari, he has been very, very active in all these months in the task force COVID-19 and in different meetings like with Commuter and other meetings. So he will tell us a little bit more about what's going on in Greece from a multimodality perspective, I think. Thank you, Theodoros.
Okay.
Do you want us to share the...
I would try. If it is possible, it is better for me, but I can try.
We can see I don't know if it's yours.
Uh,
Yeah, it's yours.
is it okay?
Perfect,
Is it okay?
Perfect.
Okay. First of all, I thank you very much for calling me in this very good event as a speaker. I will expose to you our efforts in Trainose in Greece as real cases, and I hope to be useful also for you. I clarify that Trainose belongs to the Trainitalia now within FS Group since 2017, and now the prospects for use of new technology in the MA sector are very good, but they are not analyzed here. So I will present our own efforts without any help outside. And we started in this area during 2010. Here you see the rail network of Greece. And I will speak about the first case, that is TRAINOTAXI. This is back in 2012 in Greece. This time we started. The idea was very simple. Train and taxi were two existing components. So adding the web and the collaboration, we had a new service. The new components were a new booking and payment model with an integrated ticket. This TRAINOTAXI service was a multimodal service for transportation, started initially in Thessaloniki, the second city in Greece. And it was a cooperation between our company Trainose with a local taxi company, Eurotaxi. And the passengers could buy from our web application the ticket, the rail ticket, with an extra coupon. For this coupon, they had a discount of around approximately 15%, and it was a good motive for them. But the most better motive was that they had a full service. And I will explain. The Thessaloniki city was divided into zones. Each one had a known in advance cost, flat cost. We had operational issues that we solved, like cancellations, refunds, after-sales procedures. Put all this on the shoulders of call centers between Trainose and Eurotaxi. Finally, it was a full solution, taxi, rail, and taxi. Because the reverse direction from home to station was introduced later, and other cities were added. Here you see that the green is the Thessaloniki, the red is Athens, and the blue ones are smaller cities, so that we made a network of all these. So you see the geographical coverage along the network, the time of activation, green first for Thessaloniki, red then for Athens, and blue for other towns. Here is the model of how Athens and Thessaloniki, Athens left, Thessaloniki right, were divided in many zones, but the other cities, no, they were simpler and smaller. Finally, this project was recognized as innovative and received important citations as these below. However, during the end of 2016, we decided to suspend that, as we found that other very good solutions had already been developed in the market. For the future, we may reactivate it, but in a very different format. Next case is PATRAS Suburban. PATRAS is on the left, on the right is Athens. This is the case too I will present you. It's not a modern one, it's not a high-tech one, but it is a very effective, very simple, and a very good solution to a serious traffic problem that was facing PATRAS in 2010, with roadworks, traffic jams, serious delays for commuters, problem to reach in the morning from suburban areas to city center and leave at afternoon. We still operate this line the same way, and we extend it now. You see PATRAS at the left, Athens at the right, as I said. PATRAS is in Western Peloponnese, the area you saw. This is important attraction pole and gate to Italy. Peloponnese and Patras have metric gauge network, very important for tourism. It's another story. We decided to exploit a very short rail segment of 10 kilometers, just 10 kilometers of this network, linking city center and the north areas, where the main poles of attraction are university and the main hospitals. Sorry. Oh, I had it. Okay. And we put in operation a metric diesel trains, Stadler, every hour. We link the center of the city in front of the port and close to the bus central station and the north suburbs. But the problem was that the main attraction poles at the north was university, were university and hospital, main hospital of the city. But they were far away from the railway line. And the solution was that we link the rail by a bus line with an integrated ticket going to university and hospital. Here you see on the right the north branch that started first. And you see the link between rail and bus. On the left, you see the new branch south. Actually, it is an old one, but we put it again after some necessary works on the track and stops, and more importantly, to the signaling and safety systems. The south branch is 20 kilometers, and we put it in operation initially in February 2020, and then some days later was the first lockdown, stopped it, and we started again in July, very recently. But we face very challenges. This is the way that I present the case, except the bus. The last station on the south, Kato Achaia, is expected to soon operate. But these places are very sparsely populated, not dense, and not close to the rail line, and in some cases difficult to walk there. The main pole, that is Kato Achaia, the last station, is away 2 to 3 kilometers from the station. And it is not easy to reach walking because of the morphology of terrain. The industrial zone, another strong pole at the middle of the route with many commuters, is even farther from the line. So these are challenges now for mass. Here is what I have already explained. And the problem now that we face is underutilization of the line, but we knew that before starting. Because of the mobility problem of the last mile, it's a classic problem. Solutions for cars, bikes, to park at stations or near stations or stops have their own problems, vandalisms and lack of infrastructure actually. So we start to think in another way and we examine the idea of electric bikes. This is for 2021. We do not have any concrete thing now, we generate ideas simply. Why we focus on electric bike instead of conventional bikes? Because it is simple. We realize that they can be used from anyone, by any age, and can extend the capabilities of anyone, and they reach in much further, in much more distance. But the problem is that they cost. Also, the other problem is the space. We do not have special wagons, we do not have space, and how to accommodate this to already existing wagons. We think about. So, moreover, if we have this problem, the same problem in Greece, in other cities with similar last mile problem, but we could benefit if we find a solution to PATRAS South Branch. And on top, we look at the collaboration prospects with non-existing or at the infancy market of e-bikes or sharing in Greece. But we feel that we miss something here and an opportunity exists. So this is why I present it as a promising new one project. And another one is the case 3. This is for the future. This is the idea of ship and rail for passengers, not cargo. And actually, we have started some months ago to work on this project that proves very complex. Now the main actor is Piraeus, the main port next to Athens. You see this on the right. The poles are the Greek islands. Piraeus will be used as a node of interchange and the rail system generally. Through this, we want to link Thessaloniki or to touristic destinations like Meteor, it's a very well-known touristic place in Greece. Next steps will be to link the loyalty systems of our company and another company or other companies, and with more ambition to link ship and rail through Patras to port to Italy. See the photo at the left corner. And the last one, I hope to keep your interest with the last one. That is a personal case. It is not from Trainose. It's a personal project started in 2013. It has a special meaning for me, and I present it because I feel that everybody has to see something here. Now we have a school. We need to transport the students with a different solution. not the school bus. Why? Because the school was accepting students in Athens, not from the neighborhood, but from all Athens, and even out of it at a long distance. So the buses were expensive and not really good, sometimes non-existing. The idea was to build a web app. This app matched the students' home geographical location and was fitting the students with similar age, then created possible and best fit clusters of 3 to 4 students. Then the app automatically and anonymously sent requests to parents to enter voluntarily to a social network, proposing and asking their permission to get in contact with other best fit parents, so it was creating practically a social network of common interests between parents. Then, with this information on hand, they could use taxis on a permanent basis with students with similar age and location. It was very big success. We were very happy. The cost dropped, the travel time dropped even to half time. The service and the safety was very good as the driver was the same, and the satisfaction risen a lot. As we see, mobility demand is everywhere, and every time we have opportunities to innovate and solve problems using technology. I hope you found useful the stories about a world full of opportunities and services. These services are, to my mind, like the marvelous childish Lego bricks, assisting kids to build new worlds. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Theodoros. I think that yeah, your point of view is very interesting. I mean, it's about how to find solutions to problems that sometimes not have to be. We don't need a very expensive solution, very developed one, but just something simple that can help us in a specific moment for a specific problem. This is a very good, efficient way of thinking from an engineering mind. Okay, so I think that we all have talked, and I would like to first I would like to ask Luca if we can see the answers from the pool. Valeria or Luca. Okay, yeah, so as expected, here there are two things that are important. From one side, we have this need to adapt to to a more customer-oriented approach, and on the other side, it's true that we do have contracts normally regarding commuter and regional trains, so we have to adapt them, and this year was a splendid example of it. Contracts are good, are necessary, but they do have to be flexible enough to provide the service. I would like now to ask you, I don't know if Christophe is still there. Catherine has gone.
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay.
Actually, I'll put my video if you prefer.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I would like to ask you two main questions. One is, what do you think that they are the main challenges for the next future in urban mobility and commuter and regional trains to meet our customer expectations? I think you have all of you from different perspectives. You have already give this answer, but I would like to just to give three main elements that you think that will be essential in the next future to tackle to this new normal, back to normal, building better. Yasunari?
Yeah. Oh, so Jerry think the 15 to 20 passengers will not return to our service after Corona crisis. So that's why we have to keep the high-level service for 80% customers. And at the same time, we have to create new customers by new ideas and new service. So the MOS is one of the potential for getting new customers. So because I think in Europe, there are a lot of MOS cities, but this purpose of MOS is to solve the congestion in the big cities and the air pollution. But I think the MOS has a very big power, I think, potential powers. So that's why now, so if we can make new MOS with attractive factors for customers, so we can get more customers, like tourism MOS. We call it the tourism MOS. So it is a small MOS from big city to the region area, a very famous sightseeing place. So, and now we prepare 4-5 tourism MOS in each region. And next April, we will start to promote the all region tourism MOS as an integrated MOS in our territories. So if we can achieve success, so that we hope it will be a next big pillar for our business. So because the financial issue is a very important problem for our sustainable operation. That's why the pinch, the crisis, hazard, we will make a new service. We believe, I think.
We have to reinvent ourselves to be more attractive. I absolutely agree with you. And well, you know, I have been for the last 5 years talking about tourism opportunities for railways in Top-Rail with you, so I completely agree. We will see that in the future. Theodoros, would you like to add something?
Yeah. Okay. Yes. My understanding is to improve our basic offer. That means back to basics. It is very important. Quality and price. Expectations of people for good, affordable quality services and cheap prices, if possible. On technology side, again, they want very basic things, as for example, to have Wi-Fi coverage inside trains. It is not always possible that. It is very simple, but not possible. And it is, we do market research surveys, and now we find that this is the most important factor that they want, Wi-Fi. It is very simple, Wi-Fi. Very important also is information about their travel, before travel and during travel. This matches also with Wi-Fi. Now we have also the COVID pandemic. For now, of course, all these match together. As an example, it is how to be able to avoid crowding inside trains, as it is explained before by Christoph's presentation. This is very, very important now. But also it will be in the future, because as Yas explained, they had done such approach from 2011, that now they have in the forefront. So I am in the same idea, back to basic, classic solutions. Be very, very, very much on quality and price again. This is my idea.
Thank you, Theodoros. Yeah, I think it's very important. And the Christoph example was very good to listen to the customers. What do they need? What is important for them? Because transportation is just, it's like they are expecting us to transport them, but the plus is what makes the difference between us and other modes of transport. Christophe, please, would you like to share?
Yeah, for me, yeah, I think the different, let's say if I had to answer 2 or 3 different things, I would say first, stay close or get close to your customers. Sometimes, yeah, you work like we've seen in many countries today, you work on mass and big stuff, complex stuff, but sometimes they want things a bit simpler than that. So actually, sometimes it's not that complex. It's just, okay, go to your customers, listen to them. If there are quick wins, if there are simple things, maybe actually try to deliver to get those delivered. And I'm always thinking about customer information, because on our many surveys, this comes as really the biggest problems in Belgium. It's really, for example, when there is a disruption, when there is an incident on the network, they're really just asking to get the information. Okay, how long is it going to last? What alternatives what other options do I have now? Things like this. And actually, it's years that we're still not delivering on this. So it's a bit a pity. And I don't think it's, I'm sure actually we can find quick wins on this, definitely. So would say listen to your customers. That's definitely, sometimes you will have good surprises, like maybe they don't want you to build something too complex and a new mass, and you are not going to be Google Maps or Uber, but maybe you can just give them, for example, the train composition information, tell them, okay, if you have a bike, you should stand at the front of the platform, because that's where you can put your bike. And actually, that's already something very interesting for customers. And I think where there is a quick win, with a quick win, I mean, like in 6 months, we should be able to deliver this. And I think another important aspect, opportunity for us, and related to the digital, I think it's really to change the way we work, and to try to make, once again, I will say it, but things simpler and shorter. Maybe you can iterate more. Maybe it's easier than before to be in contact with your customers. You can do customer surveys in just 1 hour. Actually, it's really fast and it's really easy. And it allows you to iterate more and to actually, yeah, build maybe smaller things and then construct on this and to work on an incremental way. And I think the digital really allows us to do this kind of things. That's a great opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So I think the customer demand will more diverse, I think. So that's why we have to prepare a more service. I think they can select as much their demand and request, I think. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, totally agree. It's very interesting, all these back to basics, listen to the customers. But the point is that this year has been very, very difficult, but very challenging. But as Yasunari said, we made things that were supposed to be done in 10 years. Yeah. So we short everything has been accelerated somehow. But on the other hand, that was give us a very good opportunity to show our customers that we care, and that we are there to listen to them, and maybe somehow forces also the railway community to listen, because it's not to talk about customers is not always the case. Sometimes we are used to talk about passengers, but as I said, passengers are people that passes, but customers, they do stay. So this approach is something easy, but not as clear as it should be. Maybe I think that there are that want to ask a question in the audience? Valeria told me. I cannot see that. Well,
No question.
Okay, let me check.
Vanessa? Yes, we have Ricardo Santoro from FS Group, and I will give him the possibility to speak, okay?
okay.
Ricardo, can you hear us? Can you speak?
Hello, this is Ricardo Santoro. I'd like to thank everyone. I've been on this day. It's been a few hours well spent. Innovation program manager at Ferrovie dello Stato. Gentlemen.
Ricardo, I'm sorry, but we can't hear you.
Yeah.
Your voice is very noisy, so we cannot hear you. Can you try again? No. Ricardo?
Can you write a?
No,
So,
doesn't
Can you hear me now? Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes.
Please go on.
yeah. Okay.
Maybe you can write down your question
In a chat box.
Okay.
in the chat, because we can hear you, but then it cuts. I don't know. It's maybe your connection.
Yeah.
Digitalization is very good until you have no connection.
Yeah.
Do we have another?
Yes, Vanessa, we have another participant that want to speak. Is Massimiliano Curto from the app VIARAIL. Just a moment. Okay. Massimiliano or Rocco, I don't know who is speaking now. Rocco, okay. Rocco, can you hear us? Can you speak?
Yes, definitely I hear you. I'm sorry, I was just asking before just to add a link for a review, because I was there since the morning, and really all the discussion and I heard was really incredible. I really thank you for your wonderful work, but I don't have a specific question in this case, so sorry. I just asked it for a link on the chat. I don't know if you see it.
Okay. Can we try again with Ricardo Santoro? I'm very sorry. Ricardo, do you want to try one more time?
No.
Okay.
And Vanessa, you will share our document to audience?
Yes.
Vanessa? So because my presentation including a lot of link to our video and the URL and other information.
Yeah.
So.
Valeria, Mariluz, I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Please share to audience.
It will be possible to replay all the day. I mean, to see again all the workshop in the next few days, and we will send to all participants, if the speakers are agree, all the presentation and the document that has been shown today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
And I'm sorry,
Okay.
my presentation is very big volume.
Lot of information.
What we will do is not to send directly the presentations, but is to upload the presentation on a USC website, SUSDEP website, and then we will send the link to get the presentation. Okay.
Merci, d'accord. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So well, from my side, I add another question, what was about how do you think that UIC or international network could help on the future challenges? I don't know if you want to share some idea very shortly because we are just on time, 2 minutes. If you have any idea on, well, you are very active, at least Yasunari and Theodoros, you know that.
Okay, I can start myself. For me, it is extremely important and useful, the international cooperation. Because, first of all, sometimes we feel that we are at the corner of Europe, so at the periphery. But in another way, we are in the center. In other times we feel. It is eye-opener, this collaboration. We understand many things and opportunities. So best practices is the most important aspect. Very, very important also is the work on standardization, because if you don't have standards, you don't have any type of collaboration. Yeah. Standards of ticketing particularly are very important, especially the new standards that now are under development. The contracts also between different modes is an important factor for me, the contracts, and the clearing process of ticketing. Another alarming issue is the open data in the EU. Some other problem is the gate systems of metro, etc. systems that we need to interoperate. So for me is a problem sometimes, how they can be accommodated. Also the sharing economy after or before train in Greece is not so much developed. And I hope that we will see more things in the future. And the electric mobility generally, because Greece is a blessed country in terms of energy, solar energy, wind energy, sea energy, and all this could really come up in solutions also in transportation, using electric energy from renewable sources. That is the future for me.
Thank you, Theodoros. Christophe?
Yes, for me, what I would be interested in about sharing this kind of day that we just had, but sharing the experience from other countries. Maybe you can find additional ways to share it. Like, I don't know if you can try to, I guess you already have a newsletter, but maybe you can ask your customers like us how can we improve this, because for example I don't receive anything, so I don't know. For me it's really about sharing the experience. If I hear there is a good project, for example in Greece, I will think, oh, I want to know this, so actually you allow me to know this project and do the networking to meet the persons that just did this project. So for me, it's really hearing about projects, maybe not only in webinars, but in newsletters or in a website. I don't know how you could do this. And yeah, allow us to do networking. That's definitely very useful.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Yes. Yes.
So, okay. So, during the pandemic, so we experienced a lot. So, the importance of exchanging information with all our railway friends, I think, the UIC activity is very effective. So, especially for CRTS, it's very, very effective. I didn't realize that, but now I understand the importance of these activities. Please join. Welcome a lot of friends from people, the friends in the world. So, and I think the mass transport is very big advantage to other transport. That's why after Corona pandemic, so we should not lose this advantage. So we have to bring a lot of passengers. So now it cannot be held for respecting the social distancing. But after Corona crisis, so we have to bring a lot of passengers to our service again, I think, with collaboration and cooperation with railway friends in the world, I think. The UIC activity is very effective, I think. I believe.
Thank you.
I
Yes,
agree. I agree
we are
fully.
working very hard on that, and it's very important to have you on board. I mean, to have participants and to have people that want to share also with others. Today, during the whole day, I've been listening to people from Brazil, from Japan, from Greece, Belgium. I mean, it's Canada. It's that's one of the perks of being in an international organization like this one. From my side, I would like to thank you again for your commitment and for being here. It's late, and I know that you have your special. You are at home maybe, but now we have to search for the other part of the life. Lucy, are you there?
I am.
Okay, so I
Hello.
give you the floor.
Oh, right. Okay.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
yeah. Okay. Thank you. What a fabulous day we've had, hasn't it? Really, really interesting range of different speakers across quite a diverse range of topics. You know, we started with the idea of talking about digital platforms, but actually we've talked about customer experience and that sort of intermodality and the importance of that, you know, as a real common theme across all of those conversations. So yeah, thank you again for everybody for joining. I have included a link in the chat there for subscribing to eNews, and so we can definitely work on making sure that these kind of stories and case studies are shared on eNews going forward. And yeah, watch this space for more future events and project ideas. I don't know if the foundation would like to also say something in closing. Any admin? I don't know if who's still on. If Raimundo would like to say anything to close.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, Raimundo had to leave the webinar. I'm Luca, and yeah, from our side, it was very interesting meeting. Yeah, I had Vanessa. From any part of the world, we had a idea of the mass project, the mass world as it goes, and the next steps for the project is from the 2021 the guidelines. It will be the next deliverable and the final events in which we hope that we even physically meet all together. It could be very, very nice. And that's it. Thank you to all of you, the UAC, Lucy, Vanessa, and Mariluz, and all the speakers, of course.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, and good
very
night,
much.
everybody.